Hello. Since this is the Christmas period, I'd like to be a little bit more personal this time around and talk about my family and how I came to be the person that I am and how I came to do what I do right now. I grew up in a very small family. I have an older brother who is much older than I am, and he left when I was just 7 or 8, and that, for all accounts and purposes, left me as a single child in a small family. Then, as the years went on, my dad passed away when I was 13, which left me with only my mom. And as I grew older and through adulthood, the connection with my mom was a very intense one, because we were the only ones nearby. Now, that also meant that the memory of my dad really faded very quickly. For one thing, I was very young. It was a big shock when he passed away. And my mom and I were very close at that moment. So it took a very long time for me to realize that my dad was also there. And the pivotal moment was when my mom passed away about 10 years ago. And as the memory of my mom faded, the memory of my dad came to the surface again and made me realize what precious gifts he has given me when I was growing up. To give you a bit of background, my mom is the achiever. She always was the go-getter, the active one, where my dad was the quiet pole in the family. Let's say the more emotional one. And when he passed away, that bit of me got lost. Well, as my dad's memory came back to the foreground, I started identifying more with those parts of him that were part of me that I had completely forgotten. And I talked with my friends about my dad, which I had never done before. And the one thing that strikes me as very important is that the overall sentiment that I get from my dad is an element of kindness and generosity of spirit. That is something that I have rediscovered in myself throughout the last 4 or 5 years, and that I'm very happy to have, because it is an important part of me that I never realized was there. Now, what does that mean? Kindness. In my dad's case, it was being present, being there, being calm in the face of drama, holding, giving me a hug, just being there to talk or hold my hand when things got rough. And I find myself doing similar things to my friends and to my colleagues and whoever needs it. I think that generosity of mind of my dad that I experienced expanded beyond the family, and he had a number of friends that I now recognize were people who were on the receiving end of my dad's generosity and kindness. Now, coming back to kindness, how would you express that to your friends, to your family, to people around you, to complete strangers? It's a very simple thing to do. Just be there. Be there for them when they need you on their terms. And do what you can to help them, which is very often doing nothing. Just being there, being present, holding the space, and helping them through hard times. Now, coming back to Christmas, rather than dealing with presents, dealing with cooking, sleeping arrangements, travel preparations, and all that kind of thing, take some time and sit back and consider how you can be kind to the ones around you. You'll find that this is so much more rewarding than going through the motions, being very active. Christmas is a reflective time, and I invite you to spend some time with the people that mean something to you and be kind. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I hope to see you again next year. Be well, stay well.